And welcome back to an extra special episode of Bunches of Lunches. This week we're celebrating Christmas around the world. I cannot tell you how much I love learning about the foods and holiday traditions from other countries. But I probably love it just as much as I love making fun lunches. So that's why I'm super excited to be combining the two this week. But before we get started, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button if you haven't already, and go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up if you'd like to see more international lunches in the future. Oh yes, and just so you guys know, we've actually been on Christmas break this week, so none of these lunches actually had to go to school. The kids just ate them at home. And I did a lot of research planning out these lunches, but I'm no expert and I can only use the ingredients available to me. For some of these lunches, I cooked items from scratch. Other times I took help from the store, and sometimes I had to find the closest substitution available. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Okay friends, so the first country we're visiting this week is Germany. Germany in December is famous for their Christmas markets. They are all over the place. So all of the foods I've chosen for this lunch are traditionally found at Christmas markets throughout Germany. So I'm going to start by preparing some bratwurst. Now, I actually found these at Trader Joe's. I'm not sure if they're super authentic, but it's the best I can find in my area. To go along with these, I'm trying out a new recipe for red cabbage. Now, we have never tried this before. I think it's kind of like sauerkraut, but with purple cabbage and apples. And after about 30 minutes on the stovetop, it looks like this. But I have to say, the vinegar smell is pretty strong. Hopefully the kids will like it. While the cabbage was cooking, I also prepared some German potato pancakes. Now, I've been told these are very popular at Christmas markets, and depending on where you're from in Germany, you might call them Kartoffelpuffer, or they might be called Reibekuchen, which are both really hard for me to say. Now, before I add these to the lunch boxes, I will add some authentic German mustard to just Lily's. I don't think any of the other kids will want to try it. They don't really care for mustard. I've tried this German mustard and I think it's really good. And I don't think it's too spicy. In this small container, I'm going to add a little bit of the red cabbage. Like I said, I'm not sure if the kids will like it, but I wanted to give them just a little bit so they can at least try it. And in the other compartment, I'm going to add some authentic German pickles. So I'll go ahead and give the kids each one pickle, but for Lily, I'll go ahead and put two because usually she loves pickles. In this separate container, I went ahead and added one potato pancake per child, and I decided to give them some applesauce to go with it because I think they'll really like that. And then for dessert, I have a very special German cookie. These are called Lebkuchen. Now these cookies have a cake-like texture, and they typically come frosted. These ones have chocolate on them, and I'd say it's kind of like gingerbread. They have spices and honey, and these ones contain nuts as well. And there you have it, a German Christmas market-inspired lunch.
Lunch is over now, and here's what we ate.
Or didn't eat. Overall, I think they did really well. I did end up cutting the little sausages in half because it was kind of big for just one kid. Okay, Jackson, tell me what your favorite thing was and what your least favorite thing was.
My favorite thing was the applesauce and just the sausage, like not the bun. My least favorite part is this and the cookie.
What about you, Lily? What was your favorite part? What was something you didn't really like?
I didn't really like these.
The cabbage, yeah. But what part was your favorite? I think I know.
The pickles are my favorite.
Yep, she ate the two that I gave her, and then she ate two more. And I have to say that those pickles were a little bit on the sweet side, so I was surprised that she liked them, but she did. What about you, Mackenzie? What was your favorite part?
I really like the potato pancakes.
Yeah, she was the only kid who ate all of hers. And she did pretty good on her sandwich. It was pretty big.
See you tomorrow. Cheers.
This next Christmas lunch was inspired by Japan. Now, I've personally spent 2 Christmases in Japan, and it's quite different than it is in the US. So that means they definitely don't prepare the traditional big Christmas feast like we do. But I think what they do eat might surprise you. At a Japanese Christmas party, you're probably going to find some kind of sushi or fish. And so I picked up this tray from my local grocery store. I'm going to offer this to the kids. I don't know if they'll like it. But if they don't, I know my husband will. So it's all good. And of course, it wouldn't be a Japanese Christmas without Kentucky Fried Chicken. A popular slogan in Japan is Kurisumasu ni wa Kentucky. Now this Japanese tradition is only about 40 years old. But if you want to get KFC on Christmas Day, you can't just walk up and order it in Japan. You usually have to order your KFC weeks in advance. Luckily for us, I just went through the drive-thru and here it is. So along with the KFC, I also gave the kids some corn that came with the meal. I also added some edamame and a Japanese-style satsuma orange. And last but not least, I couldn't forget the Japanese Christmas cake. Definitely one of my favorite traditions. These are traditionally eaten on Christmas Eve. It's basically a sponge cake filled with whipped cream. It often has strawberries or fresh fruit on it, and it almost always has a cute little Santa decoration on top. So I'm just going to give the kids each one little slice to go with their lunch, and there you have it, a Japanese-inspired Christmas lunch. Itadakimasu! Okay guys, lunchtime is over and I've got Mackenzie here to tell us how it went. And by the way, she was the only brave one to actually try the sushi. What did you think?
It wasn't my favorite, but I'm glad I tried it.
Yeah, you should at least try everything once, that's what I say. Mackenzie, what was your favorite?
Cake.
The cake, yeah, the cake was definitely good. I think all of the kids did pretty well, but Jackson, you did really, really good. What do you think?
I really liked it.
What was your favorite part?
The cake.
The cake. What was your least favorite?
Sushi.
Now, Miss Lily did not end up eating her chicken at all. I put it back in the fridge and we saved it for later.
I'm not a fan of chicken on the bone. I'd rather have like a chicken strips.
Well, what part did you like?
The cake and the orange.
Yeah.
Johnny.
See you tomorrow. Our next lunch is inspired by Mexico. Let me know in the comments down below if you've ever been to Mexico or if you're from Mexico. Now, we actually live pretty close to an authentic Mexican market, so I was able to pick up a lot of things for this lunch there. But I'm going to start off this lunch by making a really special salad. This is called Ensalada de Nochebuena, and each family kind of makes it their own way. But usually this salad is a combination of fruits and vegetables. Some recipes might have apples or oranges. Lots of recipes will have jicama. And just like that, the salad is ready. It's such an interesting combination. When I was at the Mexican market, I also picked up this jar of ponche, which is basically a hot fruit punch. This traditional drink is very popular around Christmas, and it's made with lots of different fruits, sugar cane, and cinnamon. So in this jar is actually the concentrated drink. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump it into my pot, add a liter of water and some sugar, and I'm gonna let this simmer for 30 minutes. So while this is simmering away, I'll go ahead and prepare the rest of today's lunch. And that means heating up some delicious soup. This soup is called pozole. This soup has hominy. It can also have beef or pork. This one is pork. It has lots of seasoning in there, but it's not too spicy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add these to the thermoses. To go along with that, another Christmas time favorite, some chicken tamales. So in this next compartment, I'll go ahead and add our salad. And then to go along with that, a really special snack. These are buñuelos. Now these are a crispy fried treat. They sprinkle cinnamon and sugar on there. And then last but not least, something I've always wanted to try. This is a rosca de reyes, which basically means ring of the kings. Now technically, this is traditionally served in January to celebrate the Epiphany. But since it was available at the store, I thought we could try it anyway. Our ponche is ready, but it's still really hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it cool down. And I've read that it's traditional to serve it with a cinnamon stick, and I have to say, it smells really good. Okay, Jackson, what do you think of today's lunch?
I really liked it.
What was your favorite part?
I think the
Tamale? That was really good. Now, these three kids ended up sharing just one because they were huge. But what do you think of the soup?
It was okay.
Was that your favorite? It was my favorite. I'd say out of everything, that the soup was definitely my favorite. Lily, what was your favorite?
The little pieces with cinnamon on it, those.
Oh yeah, those were tasty. It tastes like a churro.
Yeah.
Kind of, like a tortilla churro. Oh yes, and I did end up giving these kids like a dollop of sour cream for their tamale. I don't know if that's traditional, but they asked for it and they liked it. What did you think, Kenzie?
It was cool.
What was your favorite?
The tamale.
Did you like it better with sour cream?
Yeah.
What about the soup?
I didn't eat it.
And you guys, we found baby Jesus in our bread. In fact, I found him when I was cutting it. When I was cutting it in pieces. So there he is. Cute little one. There's still one left in the bread somewhere.
I'm fine.
Can we find it tomorrow? Okay. These next lunches were inspired by the countries in the UK. So for this lunch, I'm going to start by making some pigs in a blanket. But I'm going to make the UK version. In America, when we say pigs in a blanket, it's usually a sausage or a hot dog with bread dough wrapped around it. But in the UK, it's a sausage or a chipolata with streaky bacon wrapped around it. So once I've wrapped the bacon around, I'm also going to add a toothpick just to keep the bacon on the little sausage. Then I'm going to sprinkle a tiny bit of brown sugar on there and get them into the oven. While those are in the oven, I'm going to start on another Christmas favorite, which is a Yorkshire pudding. Now in America, when we say pudding, we probably think of like Jell-O pudding, but a Yorkshire pudding is more like a bread that you serve with dinner. They're actually pretty easy to make, but I don't have the special kind of pan, so mine just turned out so-so. Next, I'm going to add a few slices of roasted turkey. I actually got this pre-cooked at Costco. Now, just like America, turkey is very popular on Christmas and is usually the main course. And to go along with this, I've added some cranberry sauce. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my Yorkshire pudding, which I'm going to add just a little bit of gravy to. I've heard that's very traditional. And then in this other section, I'm going to add just a few of our little pigs in a blanket. For our vegetable today, I just roasted up some carrots. And for the dessert, I picked up some of these pre-made mince pies. These little pies have fruit and nuts, spices, and orange peel. And since these ones are Walkers, they have like a shortbread crust on top. These are actually a product of Scotland. And I just love them because they remind me of Harry Potter.